After the big money and fail, you wind up with $500. What are you going to do?
Well, we're going to try it.
All right then. The question is worth $2,000. The Nobel Prize for Literature in 1958 was awarded to Russia's Boris Pasternak. His novel, critical of communism, became a bestseller. For $2,000, what is the name of this much publicized book?
I believe it was Dr. Shavo.
You want to try that again?
Zhivago.
Dr. Zhivago is correct! Well, you've won $2,000. Now, what are you going to do with all that swag?
Well, we're going to put the money in the business, building houses.
Well, you couldn't put it to a better use. That is, unless you go to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer and try out one of their latest models. Tell them Groucho sent you. Congratulations and thanks to the Hatfield family for being with us on You Bet Your Life. I'm going to ask some questions, and if you get 4 in a row right, you get $1,000. If you get 2 wrong, you are out. Now, ocean tides are affected by what heavenly body?
The moon.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say Marilyn Monroe.
You now have 1 right.
What do you call the path of a planet?
Orbit.
Orbit.
Orbit is right.
You now have 2 right.
Planets shine by reflective light only. What do you call heavenly bodies that shine from their own lights?
Star.
A star or a sun?
You now have 3 right. Get the next one right, and you will have $1,000.
Now, which of the planets is known as the red planet?
Mars.
Mars.
I was going to say Russia.
And you now have 4 in a row, and you've won $1,000.
Well, you've won $1,000. You can keep it and quit, or you can come back later and try to double your money.
You're so late.
Oh, I beg your pardon, but I'm
In here. Come in.
I just left my car in the driveway. I had a blowout, and I thought maybe that I could go in,
Go inside.
Have him come up, Max.
Wipe your feet. Go on. You're not properly dressed for the occasion.
What occasion?
Go upstairs.
Now, suppose you listen to me for just a minute.
Madam is waiting.
For me? Okay.
If you need any help, call me.
Max,
Yes, madam.
the young man is staying for a while. Get some champagne.
Garage room has not been used for a long time.
Well, I guess it's okay for one night. She's quite a character, isn't she?
She was the greatest of them all. You wouldn't know. You're too young. In 1 week, she received 17,000 fan letters.
Yeah. I sure turned into an interesting driveway.
You did so. Good night, Mr. Gillis.
I think Tim was slightly cuckoo, too. A stroke, maybe. Come to think of it, the whole place seemed to have been stricken with a kind of creeping paralysis, out of beat with the rest of the world, crumbling apart in slow motion. When I woke up the next morning, all of my belongings were there. Suitcases, books, even my typewriter. I threw on some clothes and ran over to the house.
Of course your things are there. I brought them myself.
Oh, is that so? Well, who said you could? Who asked you to?
I did. It seemed like a good idea if we were to work together.
Well, there's nothing in the deal about me staying here.
You'll like it here. Besides, you can't work in an apartment where you owe 3 months' rent.
I'll take care of that.
It's all taken care of. Max, unpack Mr. Gillis's things.
It's been done, madam.
Well, pack them up again. I didn't say I was staying.
Then suppose you make up your mind. Do you want this job or not?
Yes, I wanted the job. I wanted the dough. But it wasn't so simple getting some coherence into those wild hallucinations she called a script. And what made it even tougher was that she was around all the time, hovering over me, afraid I'd do some injury. It was upholstered in leather skin and had one of those car phones, gold-plated.
That's a dreadful shirt you're wearing, Joe.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
Nothing, if you work in a filling station. And I'm getting rather bored with that same sport jacket and the same baggy pants. Max,
Yes, madam.
take us to a good men's shop in town. The very best. Take us there now.
But I don't need any clothes, and I certainly don't want you buying them for me.
Why begrudge me a little fun? I just want you to look nice and, must you chew gum?
Last week in December, the rains came. Came right through the old roof of my room over the garage. So she had Max moving into the main house. I didn't much like the idea, but it was better than sleeping in a raincoat and galoshes.
You should be comfortable right here, Mr. Gillis.
Uh-huh. Whose room was this?
It was the room of the husbands. Or the husbands, I should say. Madam has been married 3 times.
Oh, hey, what's the matter with the door? There isn't any lock.
There's no locks anywhere in the house, sir.
How come?
Madam had some moments of melancholy. There have been some attempts in suicide.
Oh,
We have to be very careful. No sleeping pills, no razor blades. We turn off the gas in Madam's bedroom.
why? Her career? She's got enough out of it. She's not forgotten. She still gets all those fan letters.
Those letters? I would not look too closely at the postbox.
You said. Isn't that it, Max?
I'd better press your evening clothes, sir. Mr. Gillis has not forgotten Madam's New Year's Eve party.
No, I hadn't forgotten the party. I dreaded it. But I was curious as to what would be there. I heard voices, Max, ushering in the orchestra. A little later on, they started to play.
The doctor said she will be all right. Be careful, Mr. Gillis. Careful what you say to her.
Norma?
Go away. Don't look at me. Go away and let me alone.
What kind of a silly thing was that to do?
To fall in love with you, that was an idiotic thing.
It sure would have made attractive headlines. Great star kills herself for unknown writer.
Great stars have great pride. Go away. Go back to that girl of yours.
Look, I was making that up because I thought the whole thing was a mistake. I didn't want to hurt you. You've been good to me, Norma. You're the only person in this stinky town who's been good to me.
Then why don't you just say thank you and get out?
Not until you promise to act like a sensible human being.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Norma.
I'll do it again.
Norma. Happy New Year, Norma.
Oh, Joe. Happy New Year, darling.
The following day, if it hadn't been for her bandaged wrist, no one would have ever dreamed that here was a woman who tried to kill herself.
Immediately, Max, immediately take the script over to Paramount and be sure to deliver it to Mr. DeMille in person.
Very good, madam.
You really gonna send it to Mr. DeMille?
Well, this is the day. This is the day, Joe. Look, here's the chart from the astrologer. She's read DeMille's horoscope. She's read mine.
Did she read the script? Norma, scripts don't sell on astrologers' charts.
But, darling, I'm not just selling the script. I'm selling me. DeMille always said I was his greatest star.
When did he say it, Norma?
Oh, well, all right, it was quite a few years ago. But the point is, I never looked better in my life. Do you know why? Because I've never been as happy in my life. Now hurry, Max, hurry!
It's for you, madam. The telephone. Paramount is calling.
Now, do you believe me, Joe? Paramount is calling. I told you DeMille would jump at my story.
It's not Mr. DeMille in person, madam. Someone by the name of Gordon Gale. He said it was very important.
Certainly it's important. The very idea some assistant call me, say that I'm busy and hang up.
Very good, madam.
How do you like that? We made 12 pictures together, his greatest successes.
Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's shooting.
I know that trick. He's trying to belittle me. He's trying to get my price down. I've waited 20 years for this call. Now DeMille can wait until I'm good and ready.
About 3 days later, she was good and ready. Incredible as it may seem, there had been more of those urgent phone calls from Paramount. So she put on a half a pound of makeup and fixed it up with a veil and set forth to see DeMille in person.
Joe, are you sure you don't want to see Mr. DeMille with me, dear?
No, I'll wait outside. It's your script, Norma. It's your show. Good luck.
Thank you, darling. Max, what are we waiting for?
The gate, madam.
Hold that noise, will you please?
To see Mr. DeMille. Open the gate.
Mr. DeMille is shooting. Have you got an appointment?
No appointment necessary. I am bringing Norma Desmond.
Norma who?
Norma Desmond.
Jonesy! It is you, Jonesy!
Oh, why, Miss Desmond? Oh, how have you been, Miss Desmond?
Just tell that officer to open the gate.
Sure, Miss Desmond. Okay, Mac, open it up.
They can't drive on the lot without a pass.
Miss Desmond can. Open it up.
Where's Mr. DeMille shooting, Jonesy?
Stage 18, Miss Desmond.
Thank you, Jonesy. And teach your young friend some manners. Tell him without me he wouldn't have any job. Because without me there wouldn't be any Paramount studio. Max, stage 18.
It wasn't possible. How could a man of DeMille's intelligence see even a glimmer of hope in a script as bad as the one she sent him? But he came out of the soundstage, put his arms around her, and then let her enter a set.
You saw them, Mr. Gillis? The extras, the electricians, they fall all over each other just to get a look at her. See that row of offices? That used to be Madam's dressing room. The whole row.
They didn't leave much for Wallace Reed. Oh, look at that sign over there, Max. Reader's department. Reminds me. I want to look up somebody. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Well, for heaven's sakes, come on in, have a chair.
Hello, Betty. I just thought I'd tell you this. What's the matter?
Commander, one of DeMille's assistants.
Well,
The reason for all those telephone calls to Madam, it was not DeMille. It was the property department who called.
property department.
The car. They saw the car, and when I brought the script here, they wanted to rent the car for Bing Crosby picture.
DeMille's going to tell her that?
He will know what to tell her. He remembers her. He will not break her heart.
Take it easy, she's coming.
You see, look at her. Look at her. She's radiant.
Well, how'd it go?
Oh, it couldn't have gone better. It's practically set. Of course, he has to finish this picture first. It's a circus picture. But I'm next. I'm sure I'm next. He said nothing would please him more than to work with me again.
Norma.
Oh, it's nothing. I just didn't realize what it would be like to come back to the old studio. Well, what are you waiting for, Max?
Forgive me, madam. Your arm, madam.
After that, an army of beauty experts invaded the house. She went through a merciless series of treatments, like an athlete training for the Olympic Games. She went to bed every night at 9. She was absolutely determined to be ready. Ready for those cameras that would never turn.
Joe, darling, are you there?
Yes, Norma.
Don't turn around. Keep your eyes on the book. I just came down to say goodnight. I don't want you to...
Max was waiting for me on the patio.
Mr. Gillis, you must be very careful. Madam may be watching. Mr. Gillis, I am not inquiring where you go every night.
Well, why don't you? I'm writing the script and I'm going to finish it.
It is just that I'm greatly worried about Madam.
Well, you're not helping her any, feeding her those lies and more lies. What happens when she finds out that there isn't going to be any picture?
She will never find out. That's my job. It's been my job for a long time. I made Noel Desmond a star, and I cannot let her be destroyed.
You made her a star?
I discovered her. I directed all her early films.
And she turned you into a servant?
It was I who asked to come back. Humiliating as it might seem. You see, I was her first husband.
Following night, as usual, I was in Betty's office. Betty was strangely quiet. There isn't going to be any picture. There aren't any fan letters, except the ones that you write.
Max, that isn't true.
Madam is still the greatest star of them all. I'll take Mr. Gillis's bags to the car.
You heard him. I'm a star.
Norma, you're a woman of 50. Now grow up. There's nothing tragic about being 50. Not unless you try and be 21.
I'm the greatest star of them all.
Goodbye, Norma.
No one ever leaves a star. That's what makes one a star.
I left her standing there. I grabbed my coat and started out. She kept calling me.
Joe! Joe! Joe!
I could hear her running after me.
Joe! Joe!
I was out of the house now. The air suddenly felt fresh again. Clean. I started to cross the patio. She called to me once again.
Joe!
But I didn't stop. I kept on going. Suddenly, it was a great effort to keep on walking. I was alongside the pool now. If I could only get... Well, this is just about where you came in. Back at that pool again. The one I always wanted. Only now the place is crawling with people. The police, detectives, reporters, photographers. They took pictures of me in the pool, then they took pictures of me out of the pool. They were very careful with me, gentle. It's funny how gentle people get with you once you're dead. Well, the newsreel guys are roaring in now. Here's an item everybody can have some fun with. The heartless so-and-sos. What would they do to Norma? Even if she gets away with it in court, a crime of passion, temporary insanity. The headlines are gonna kill her. Forgotten star slayer, aging actress, yesterday's glamour queen. They're talking to her now up in the house. The boys from Homicide. They found her upstairs, sitting at her dressing table, arranging her hair.
She just won't talk, Captain. State of shock, I guess.
Miss Desmond, please. You don't deny having killed that man?
Well, just answer us yes or no. Did you intend to kill him?
Who is he? Where did you first meet him? Where does he come from?
Newsreel men are here now. But with the cameras, Captain.
Tell him to go fly a kite. This is no time for cameras. Miss Desmond, is there anything at all you want to tell us?
The cameras have arrived, madam.
They have? Tell Mr. DeMille I'll be there at once.
What is this?
Well, it's one way to get her downstairs, ain't it?
Well, okay, have the car right outside.
Everything will be ready, madam.
Thank you, Max. You'll pardon me, gentlemen, but I must get ready for my scene.
What's going on now? Look at that.
The cameraman were at the foot of the stairs. A dozen reporters firing questions. But Max didn't even bother to look at them. It was the cameras he was interested in.
Quiet, everybody. Miss Desmond is coming. Lights! Turn up the lights!
Lights? What lights? What's he talking about?
Are you ready, Norma?
What is the scene? Where am I?
This is the staircase of the palace.
Oh, yes, yes.
Down below, they are waiting for the princess.
I'm ready.
All right, camera, action!